I hope you found the morning sessions very useful. Now, I would like to introduce Dr. Benjamin Carson, Sr. Dr. Carson was sworn in as the 17th Secretary of the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development on March 2nd, 2017. Since that time, he's led the department focused on advancing economic opportunity, increasing affordable housing, and promoting safe and healthy homes. At Ginnie Mae, we are so appreciative of his leadership. Secretary Carson has received dozens of honors and awards in recognition of his achievements, including the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor. Secretary Carson was born in Detroit and was raised to love reading and education. He's authored 9 books, 4 of which he wrote with his wife, Candy. Dr. Carson graduated from Yale and earned his MD from the University of Michigan Medical School. It is my true honor to welcome Secretary Ben Carson. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Maren. We're very fortunate to have Maren leading this agency. She's done a tremendous job, and we're very thankful for your steady hand. You know, as Ginnie Mae celebrates its 50th birthday, can you believe that? 50 years. And we reflect on 5 decades of providing stability to America's housing and capital markets. And the numbers tell an epic tale. Listen to this. 53 million households have been financed by government loans in Ginnie Mae securities. 53 million. 71% of the people Ginnie serves have been first-time home buyers. And our mortgage-backed securities portfolio has grown to a balance of roughly $2.1 trillion. That's with like 12 zeros behind it, comprised of more than 11 million loans. Now, this success story is one that few would have dreamed of when we were looking into that terrible abyss during the 2008 financial crisis. There were many hard lessons learned during that time, but the end result has been 10 years of triumph, where time and again Ginnie Mae has risen to the occasion, grown each year in size, skill, and sophistication. Back in 2008, Ginnie's total MBS portfolio stood at less than $500 billion. Now, that's nothing to sneeze at, but in the decades since that, it has grown approximately 420%. Think about that. Today, we service a wider variety of issuers, we offer a stronger array of products, and we benefit a broader diversity of institutional investors. In short, this agency has played a key role in leading America's housing market from crisis to confidence. In turn, Ginnie has earned the trust of investors around the world. But we also have an ambitious agenda for the reform, especially as it relates to the twin pillars of Ginnie's plan for the year ahead. They are, number 1, our implementation of broad modernization upgrades to the MBS program and platform. And number 2, our enhancements to managing counterparty credit risk. And I'll talk a little bit about each of those. If Ginnie Mae is to ensure that its next 5 decades provide as much stability and liquidity to our country's housing markets as the past 5 decades, it's incumbent upon our organization to continually evolve and to adapt. And that ideal of adaptation and evolving is nothing new. You can go all the way back to the Greek philosopher Heraclitus, some people say Heraclitus, who 2,500 years ago famously observed, "Everything changes and nothing stands still," and that therefore change is the only constant in life. You thought that was new? 2,500 years ago, and probably people were saying it before he did. As a steward of the public's trust in the housing market, we must always be upgrading, and we must constantly be improving. While Ginnie Mae already possesses a state-of-the-art technology platform, modernization remains one of our top priorities. Ginnie's modernization process started nearly 10 years ago as an outgrowth of those hard lessons we internalized after the housing crisis. Today, these efforts have proven to be very successful in ensuring we have a securitization platform that provides a secure, flexible, and scalable way to support major business applications, improve user experience, transform business processes, advance access to data, and otherwise adapt to a very fast-moving, dynamic housing market. It is this world-class technology platform, as well as Ginnie Mae's global brand and the framework by which the agency oversees and monitors its security, that makes Ginnie Mae an asset in potential housing finance reform discussions. The Ginnie Mae 2 security has evolved into a high liquid and well-functioning security, which demonstrates the value of having a diverse set of issuers with a wide range of business models under a single flagship security. Touching on Ginnie Mae's modernization efforts in more detail, just in the past year, Ginnie has worked to improve the user experience of our platform for issuers by rolling out several new pool delivery modules, which are the digital applications where the security issuance process begins. Now, we released the multifamily pool delivery module, which is now in the pilot mode, and we will be releasing the single-family pool delivery module later on this year. We've also introduced 2 new offerings to Ginnie's Platinum line of products in the past year. This program, which adds efficiencies by allowing small balance securities to be combined into new securities, now supports reverse mortgages, which we've heard a whole lot about lately, and weighted average coupon adjustable rate loans. As a result of these innovations, the Platinum program more than doubled its volume over the last year to more than $20 billion. The MBS market is one of the largest and the most liquid fixed income security markets in the world. Every month, global investors and market makers rely upon loan level disclosure data to reestablish relative value among alternative fixed income securities, refine their MBS prepayment models, and adjust their asset allocation strategies. Ginnie is working hard to streamline these disclosure processes and more effectively provide data to the investor community. As a doctor, I'm a firm believer in the power of data-driven thinking and letting the evidence rather than ideology and speculation guide us in the services we provide helping others. You know, at the last turn of the century, the one before 2000, the average life expectancy in this country was less than 50 years. Now we're approaching 80 years. Now, was there some kind of great genetic improvement that helped us out? No. What really happened is that the health providers started looking at evidence as opposed to intuition. And that was used in a very solid way to change policies. And it made a huge difference. And the same is true for obtaining better housing outcomes. Housing models are better able to sustain capital markets and serve the American people through elevating data above doctrine or guesswork. That's why in 2019 we plan to implement the following enhancements to our disclosures, separating single-family data from multifamily, that's a no-brainer, adding prepayment penalty information to certain disclosure files, adding user-directed querying to disclosure site pages, and adding new data elements and other value-added items in search results. A final upgrade for user experience is the creation of a single gateway to all of Ginnie Mae's systems, applications, and resources through the My Ginnie Mae portal. When fully adopted in 2020, this portal will boost efficiency for Ginnie Mae's business partners and provide a consistent user experience in addition to access to our new functionalities. And our IT team has been working very hard to make sure that this portal is viewer-friendly and very informative. You know, we've had some experience with that because we created a much better portal for HUD in general. If you get a chance, go to HUD.gov and look at that incredible opening of that web page. And you'll see all kinds of things. Go to the accomplishments section. You'll be blown away by all the things that have happened in the last couple of years. You'll never hear about those on the news. But a lot of them have to do with Ginnie Mae and some of the things that have gone on there. And go to the section called Humans of HUD, which actually gives you personal stories of how people are impacted. I mean, so many dreams have been accomplished through Ginnie Mae. But, you know, there's one example of a young lady who couldn't get a housing voucher. She was so frustrated. She finally got one after a long time, and then she couldn't find any landlords who would accept it. You can imagine how frustrating that was, but she finally found a place that would take her. She got involved in our family self-sufficiency program, wanted to be a nurse, started taking nursing programs, became a nurse, became a homeowner, and became a landlord who accepts housing vouchers. So, you know, 360 degrees. Some of the stories are really touching. And, you know, one key initiative in our modernization efforts is the creation of a digital mortgage ecosystem, one that encompasses everything from loan applications through securitization to make the credit markets more available to millions of Americans. Our overarching goal in doing so is to enhance the integrity of Ginnie Mae's collateral by reducing the risk from defects in loan instruments. This digital ecosystem will require Ginnie Mae to implement all policies and develop all technological and operational capabilities necessary to take in digital promissory notes and other digital loan files as acceptable collateral for our securities. It's an ambitious undertaking, but one that Ginnie Mae is proudly committed to fulfilling. As a result, last year, we launched an initiative to incorporate digital mortgages. The first phase of the project involves three steps. First, there's the work to be done in creating policy guidance with input from federal housing programs, the GSEs, the Mortgage Electronic Registration System, technical vendors, and industry subject matter experts. Ginnie Mae has worked hard to form an initial policy framework. This framework reflects GSE's e-note requirements and sets forth Ginnie's and issuers' custodial and loan certification responsibilities. And, you know, clarifying issues around loan certification responsibilities will make a big difference. This summer, Ginnie will publish and solicit stakeholder feedback on a draft outline policy guidance describing the process, technology, and document requirements an issuer will need to meet and participate in the upcoming digital mortgage pilot. And this fall, we plan to release our official guidance, coordinating additional policy announcements as needed with the federal housing programs that we support. On Wall Street, there's a saying called ABC, always be closing. Well, at Ginnie, our ABC means something different. Always be collaborating. As I hope these efforts in creating the digital mortgage ecosystem reveal, Ginnie Mae makes a habit of consulting with our stakeholders, investors, issuers, as well as the American people who depend on our work so that they can buy or refinance homes as they pursue their own versions of the American dream. And the next stage, phase one in our rollout, is the actual launch of the pilot. The scope of the pilot will be informed by the stakeholder feedback and draft policy guidance we receive throughout this year. Once the pilot has achieved liftoff, we plan to increase its scale over time with implementing additional system and MBS program enhancements. In phase two, the Digital Collateral Initiative, Ginnie Mae will develop a new document custody application, as well as new loan delivery and pooling applications, with our key strategic goal being to move, and this is big, from pool-level securitization models to a loan-level program. Today, our capabilities are like going to a grocery store and buying 10 different types of ice cream, and then instead of being able to make choices about what flavor you want to eat later, you have to eat every flavor in every bowl until it runs out. Well, you're probably not going to have a great experience with ice cream that way. And in Ginnie's situation, our current pool level orientation has similar inadequacies because the same institution must always be the servicer of record for all the loans first combined in a single pool. The servicing rights may be transferred, but the loans in the pool cannot be disentangled. The end result is that the owners of the servicing rights can't manage their assets efficiently, which itself creates additional risk for Ginnie Mae. The inefficiency creates a ripple effect in the desirability and the value of the mortgage servicing rights. Neither Fannie nor Freddie have to deal with this constraint. So for Ginnie, it creates a higher cost for government loans when compared to conventional loans. This is why issuers often tell us that moving to a loan-level functionality is the most important improvement Ginnie Mae can make to remain competitive in this regard. In previous years, Ginnie has really hesitated to jump into this commitment because, quite frankly, it really is a very large undertaking. But as we complete other modernization initiatives, why not add this one to it? Permanently accepting the pool level status quo really carries a great risk of relegating Ginnie Mae to perform in a second-class status behind GSEs. And once again, we can look at our good friend Heraclitus, who said, "The world is moving, and when that happens, do you stand still or do you keep moving too?" Well, obviously the answer is we keep moving. That's always been the answer. So to protect the federal government's housing mission, we've made low-level capabilities and achievement Ginnie Mae is committed to pursue. We will launch an initial planning exercise later on this year. The results of this exercise will shape our request for the resources we would need to complete this multi-year effort, which we anticipate will require significant expense, and obviously it will require a dedicated full-time project team, but it's worthwhile. The road ahead for our ambitious modernization agenda will not be easy, but really what worthwhile thing is easy when you think about it? Lasting improvements always require a real investment up front, and Ginnie Mae is leading the way in choosing to invest in a better future with dedicated energy today. The second pillar I'll cover today is the critical work we're doing to enhance Ginnie's management of counterparty risk due to the ever-evolving mortgage finance environment, as well as our portfolio's continued significant growth. In the past, risk management at Ginnie has meant simply monitoring compliance with a one-size-fits-all set of program standards. But today, given Ginnie's expanded role in the mortgage finance system and the increasing breadth and sophistication of our products, our definition of risk management obviously has been expanded as well. There are 4 core questions Ginnie must always be prepared to answer in the affirmative to show our readiness for risk management. And they are, first of all, was Ginnie Mae prepared for times of stress? Secondly, did Ginnie Mae take the right steps to ensure issuers of all sizes and types are capable of operating through the entire cycle? Thirdly, did our scrutiny and our security continue to be attractive to investors around the globe to secure capital into America's housing finance system? And fourthly, and perhaps most importantly, were the borrowers who the federal housing program are intended to serve, were they able to maintain access to affordable mortgage financing without any major disruptions? Perhaps other market participants can afford the excitation and instinctive and impulsive reactions to market upswings and downswings, but Ginnie Maes' job is first and foremost to be an anchor for the American people and for our markets, one that provides calm in the storm. Calm is the basis of confidence, and that's how you avoid crisis. And if you know any surgeons, you know that surgeons are very calm people, particularly neurosurgeons. And that's what I really appreciate about Ginnie Mae's leadership. They're very calm and very steady. To proactively head off potential threats stemming from counterparty risk, in the past year, Ginnie has published 2 all-participant memorandums, or APMs, for those who like abbreviations. I'm not one of them, on counterparty risk in the last year, with a 3rd one on the way in July. These address a variety of programmatic areas from issuer applications requirements to the minimum permitted servicing spread. While we believe these changes to our counterparty risk policy have improved our program, there remains some large and important areas that need more development if we want to be able to say that the mortgage financial industry is protected by an adequate framework of prudential regulation. So we're reviewing 3 closely related topics after appropriate analysis and consultation. Expect to be implementing policy for each of these, and they are: what is the right level of capital and liquidity a non-bank issuer should be hold? And that's certainly a growing segment. What needs to be in place to evaluate the ability to withstand the times of stress, because we know they're coming? And what standards should be developed to improve recovery and resolution planning? As we move forward, we will determine how broadly new policies should apply. Our review in this space also presents an opportunity to increase engagement with other federal partners and state regulators and coordinate our efforts. After all, this is part of our ABCs, always be coordinating. And I also believe, as it says in Proverbs 11:14, in the multitude of counselors is safety. To conclude, I'd like to thank each of the amazing leaders, participants, and pioneers in this room today, who do so much to make our nation's housing market a bedrock, not just of our national economy, but of a sense of national unity in each citizen's pursuit of opportunity and their pursuit of the American dream. The impact of an affordable mortgage on a young American family goes far beyond the piece of paper that it is written on. And a home represents so much more than a roof over someone's head. It's where the children grow up. It's where the memories are made, where communities come together, and ultimately the structure that stands the test of time and provides the foundation for a strong society. So I want to thank you all for the hard work you do each day. I want to congratulate Ginnie Mae for 50 years standing the test of time with such grace and adaptability. And, you know, you've produced over that time period a foundation for an even better next 50 years of leadership. And I look forward to being around, working alongside you in the years to come to do what we do best, and that is to actualize the dreams of millions of people. Thank you very much.